Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanao Bhunaktu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Satchidananda Rupaya Vishvotpatyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Shri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om, salutations to all. So we are seeing the fourth skandha, and in that the life of the great devotee Dhruva. Suruchi and Suniti, two wives of the king Uttanapad, and Dhruva is the son of Suniti and Uttam is the son of Suruchi. So we saw that once when the king was with his wife, his favorite wife was Suruchi, and Uttam was in his lap, and the king was being very loving to him. Dhruva happens to come there, and he also wants to sit in the lap of his father. But Suruchi immediately taunts at him and says that you are not deserving because you are not born through my womb. Go to the forest, pray to the Lord, and be born through my womb. Then you may desire to sit in the lap of your father. Dhruva feels very hurt, and his father also doesn't stand up for him. So he leaves that place. Now it is very interesting here, from a Jiva standpoint, when we see, in this story, the son is wanting to be on the lap of the father, and the father is a weak person. He is not very clear in his thinking. And he also doesn't stand up for his son. But the Upanishads say, Amritasya Putraha, we all are children of immortality. And Bhagavan wants to make us sit in his lap. But we are not willing. Look at that contradiction, contrast. In Dhruva's story, Dhruva is willing not only to sit on the lap of his father, finally he even seeks Bhagavan. As we go along, we see that. In our situation, Bhagavan is willing to make us sit on his lap. We are roaming around in samsara, lost in Maya. So this is one interesting observation Dongre Maharaj makes. And then Dhruva, he is hurt. He goes crying to his mother. Now his mother is Suniti. She is a pure-hearted seeker. She doesn't pick up a fight with Suruchi. She doesn't criticize Suruchi also. And the thought in her mind is also very clear. If she has dvesha towards Suruchi, the samskar of dvesha will come in the mind of Dhruva also. And so she does not criticize, and in future this can create a big rift. The whole family can be completely divided and even destroyed. So keeping that in mind, she doesn't criticize Suruchi. She doesn't want that dvesh to be there in the mind of Dhruva. So she says, what your mother has said, so what Suruchi has said, to go to the forest and pray to the Lord, that is a very good advice. We will follow that. So this is one very beautiful aspect that if the mother is like Suniti, one will take what is good, one will leave the rest. Ensuring that the samskar of dvesha and also raga does not fall on the mind of the child. For that, the samskar of dvesh and rag should not be there in the mind of the parent. Suniti herself, she is neglected by the king. She is not given the care, attention, love, etc. She is kept in a separate place. There is discrimination against her and her son. But she has no ill will against the king nor against Suruchi. That's a sadhak's quality. She does not approve of everything that Suruchi does or says, but in this context, she takes what is an appropriate or a beneficial advice. Though she gave it as a taunt, she picks up what is good from it, Suniti. So that also shows the keen sense of Vivek, the ability to leave what is hurtful, harmful, destructive to us in our sadhana, and the ability to keep what we need and what is helpful. So here, Suniti tells Dhruv that yes, go to the forest and don't beg for kingdom from this father. There is a supreme Lord who is your real father, and the position that he can give you will far exceed everything in this world. So if this father does not want to see you even in his lap and he can't stand up for you, what is the use of staying in such a place? Go and seek the father who loves you unconditionally. See the channelizing of grief. These are so many beautiful aspects. These are not just stories. The pain that is there in the heart of Dhruv, the sorrow he is going through, the taunts that he has heard, the feeling of being let down by his own father, all that is channelized towards Bhagavan. It could become destructive through dvesha, it could become destructive by self-condemnation, low self-esteem, depression. One may feel I am not worthy, I have been, I am a victim. One can feel any of these. Then one can have the feeling of revenge or the feeling that I have to prove myself to them, I am greater than them. All that can happen. But she says, you go to the forest, seek that Supreme Lord. And yes, Dhruva wants in the beginning to sit in the lap of his father, but finally when Bhagwan's darshan happens, his entire thing has changed. And how his whole energy is channelized towards in tapasya. That's a beautiful aspect. In the world, this can happen to all of us. There will be people who will be insulting to us, who will not know our value, who will taunt us, condemn us, put obstacles on our path, not support. There are lots of things will happen in the world. Instead of directing all our energies in a negative direction, if it is our duty, we explain certain things. Beyond that, nothing more we can expect. Definitely for a seeker, not at the cost of devotion, at the cost of spiritual sadhana. Out of dvesha, if one goes, like if Dhruva had gone to the forest out of dvesha for his mother Suruchi, and out of the enmity or out of the feeling of I need to prove I'm better or I'm greater, his mind would not have been able to focus on Bhagavan. With dvesh in our heart, we cannot do bhakti. Especially rag and dvesh, both are like that. Whatever we are very attached to and whatever we have aversion to, especially when it's a person and there's a personal episode involved, then the mind will keep going in that direction. So if the mind has this raga and dvesha, then bhakti becomes difficult. Suniti knows this very clearly, and so she channelizes the energy of Dhruva, saying, "You seek Bhagavan, seek that which is the highest, seek that which is permanent. Don't seek what is temporary. Seek the Supreme Lord, and He loves you unconditionally. He is your real Father. The Father in the world may not own you up, may not stand up for you, but He will never let you down. People in the world will definitely let us down somewhere or the other. Someone or the other will let us down. There is no question about that. If we expect that nobody will let us down in this world, that is not possible. Somebody or somewhere, something keeps happening where we feel let down, we feel that people have not been fair to us. That's the nature of samsara. But Bhagavan never lets the jiva down. We have let Bhagavan down in that context. We forget Bhagavan, we run into the world, we go on doing things which will increase our raga and dvesh. But Bhagavan is there to support even in that situation. Bhagavan doesn't see that, oh, this person has left me and gone, now let him suffer. Never. So that Lord who never lets us down, she channelizes the whole energy towards that Supreme Lord. And if there is a question which is raised, it's not there in Bhagavatam, but just as a reflection on this story, because the child is 5-year-old child. Someone can say, how does this mother have that heart to send the 5-year-old child away? Why did she not go? Dhruva himself could have asked that question, that, oh mother, why are you telling me to go? You come with me. You are also letting me down by sending me alone. Suniti would have answered that you are independent. You can go to the forest and pray, worship alone. But I have duties. There is my husband who is here. I have duties towards the husband. I have to serve and I have to be here. But I free you from duty towards me. And your father anyway has left you. He didn't stand up for you. So you are free. You don't have duties. Go and be in the forest. How much courage it requires for that mother also to say this, that go to the forest and do the penance there. She also loves the child equally. And the child also knows that very clearly. The child does not feel let down that my mother also abandoned me. He felt left down that father abandoned me, no doubt. That's why he was crying and he expressed that to the mother also. But he doesn't feel the mother has let me down. Mother actually gave him the right direction. So, and she sends him to forest to do tapasya. That is Suniti. Look at so much aspect of parenting which is there in this. She does not allow dvesh to form in the heart of Dhruva. She does not become the weakness of Dhruva. She does not cling to Dhruva. That is the strength. If the husband is not giving her so much of attention, love, etc., she can naturally be very, very possessive of Dhruva. She is not possessive. She channelizes his energies towards Bhagavan. She tells him what is good we take even from somebody who has hurt us and not have dvesha towards that person. She is sending him into the forest alone, saying that don't think that you are alone. The Lord is always with you and the Lord will protect you at all times. This is called operating from strength. She is operating from strength, making the child also strong, giving the faith to the child, channelizing his energies, not making the child feel lost and left out, abandoned, loving and yet strong. Not that she will not miss Dhruva, she will miss Dhruva. But what is in the interest of Dhruva? If he goes to the forest and he meditates and he connects to the Lord, his life is fulfilled. Versus he can stay here in the palace, always with him, with her, in front of her eyes. It will be a great source of love, strength, support for Suniti also. And it can appear that that is the right thing to do, that Dhruva also will have the love and support of the mother. But both will become the weakness of each other. In this choice what she made now, and which Dhruva also accepted gracefully, they both have become the strength of each other. And they both got connected to the divine. This is the beauty of this whole story. Has so many beautiful points. So Dhruva is sent into the forest. There are dangers there. Life is not at all comfortable. In comparison to the life here in the palace, what is the life in the forest? One is vulnerable completely, at the mercy of nature, at the mercy of wild animals there. There is no proper source of food, no proper place to stay, all kinds of difficulties of the weather. Survival itself is at a great threat. One doesn't know whether one will survive next moment. And not forests like today, where we have killed so many wild animals and the forests have become empty. And then we go on separate safaris to those specific protected wildlife sanctuaries. In those times, they're all forests filled with so many wild animals. Now, if somebody says, why did she need to send him to forest? The idea is be in solitude and do intense tapasya, withdrawing the senses. To connect to the Lord, that withdrawal is necessary. Staying in comfort zone with all the senses engaged in the sense enjoyments, one cannot please the Lord. Because both paths are opposite. One is extroverted, one is introverted. They cannot go together. She sends. Parents have to have that toughness. Of course, depends on the situation, the child's capabilities and all that. But today's parents, so many times we see smallest of discomfort they don't want the child to go through. And they feel they are doing the best in parenting. They are actually spoiling the life of the kid if they have that mindset. We see in our Balvihar camps and so many things that we organize. They are just so possessive about their children and don't want the child to go through any discomfort. How will these children become tough, face the challenges of life, when from childhood they are only pampered and every little whim and fancy is only being fulfilled, and parent goes all the way, all the, the steps are taken to ensure that the child has only comfort in life. Little bit of heat the child can't bear. Some toilets sometimes are little unclean because other children have not flushed it well. The parent will raise a hue and cry. And the child will say, I have not gone to the toilet for the last 2 days. There are so many toilets in the camp. If one is dirty for whatever reasons, go to the other one. And this after we ensure that the toilets are kept clean and all other children are going. A few, 2, 3 children who will be like this, and the parent will write messages to, I don't know who all they will send the messages to. And anything else in the camp, they won't bother. That is the level of parenting. Then what kind of great leaders and children do we expect, and what will happen to the country and culture? And parents are so finicky about every small little thing. They don't teach the children to be tough at all. Now the rooms have AC, and why are you not giving AC? We have not promised AC to anybody. We want, including us, we are staying in that, in the warmth, in the heat. Let the body go through some difficulties, some challenges. What is wrong in that? Anyway, they are enjoying comfort, and it's not that someone is dying out of some great heat or anything. It is cool enough. Trees are there all around there. So organizers will take care of whatever the safety of the children, the basic necessities of the children, everything taken care of. But no, absolute finicky about everything. Then what kind of children do we expect? They will achieve great things. Little things, they will fall into depression and stress and anxiety and worry, and then afterwards they have to go to psychiatrists and take pills and whatnot. A strength is required. They don't even have the strength to tell directly to their child that I am not going to come to take you back. You be there for 3 days in the camp. They don't even have that much strength. The child is missing the parent, and the parent is continuously speaking to the child is crying away, and the child is expecting that the parent will come and take me. The parent doesn't want to tell the child directly, you know, you deal with this. And these are 10-year-old children, 11-year-old children, some of them. The parent will not tell the child that the parent does not want to come. The parent is telling the sevak or the volunteer that you tell the child. Come on. Why don't you want to tell the child directly? And after doing all this, the parent comes finally because the child is inconsolable. The child just wants to go, refuses to do anything. Parent comes to take the child away from the camp. And the parent then tells the volunteer only that you should have been more strict and ensured that the child is told that your parent is not coming. Look at that kind of shifting of the whole blame. Whose responsibility is the child, not the sevak? It is a parent's responsibility. This is a level of parenting. And look at this quality of the mother here, Suniti. If that kind of mother is there, then a child like Dhruva will be able to achieve what he achieved. Otherwise, nothing. One lives in bondage, one makes the child also live in bondage only. Both of them die as a comfort-loving jiva. That's all. Those parents who make the children go through challenges, they are strong themselves. Not that their heart doesn't go through any, it's heartless. No, because they have they want the good of the child. Let the child go through little discomfort. In the same camp, we had some parents who didn't come, who made the child go through the difficulty, and only in the evenings the child will miss the parent and cry. We will handle, our sevikas and all of us, we speak to the child, other children encourage the child. There's so much growth for that child, and that child is so happy. At the end of the 4 days, the child feels that yes, I could live. First time the child has lived 4 days without the parent completely. Went through difficulties, but finished the 4 days program. Now the child is stronger or not? Parent is also stronger, child is also stronger. The child knows that yes, I can do this. All that is necessary. So when this Dhruva, he is told by the mother, you go to the forest, don't feel scared. Narayana is always with you and he is your real father. He will protect you. That faith even the mother has, that is why it goes to the child. The mother has the faith that Bhagavan will protect my child. That is the power of Shraddha. So if the parents have that much Shraddha and from childhood that samskar is there, it will go into the mind of the child at some point. And if that Shraddha is backed up by proper logical explanation, reasoning, then that will be there in the child. Even in the teenage years, the child will not lose that faith because logic is already there with the child. You know, one of the most interesting sessions we had right now in the Bal Vihar camp is we did Shankara Jayanti was on 5th. So the children went through Shankara Digvijay, 15 destinations across the country where different things Shankaracharya did. The children went through that. And when they came to Mahishmati, Mahishmati is in Madhya Pradesh, where Mandana Mishra was the, with whom Shankaracharya had a debate. So we explained the whole thing about what is a debate and who was Mandana Mishra and his wife Ubhay Bharati, and she was the judge for the debate between these two. All that we explained the story properly. Then we had a debate between children about does God exist or not. And 10-year-old, 11-year-old children, what all objections they already face by their peers. They had such heated discussions, arguments, and they were saying, Swamiji, you give us these points and we will write it down. That because we have to tell our friends that this is why God exists. Because they all had faith. Few people, very few did not believe in God, very few. Rest of them all were having faith that no, God exists. But the reasoning was not sufficient enough. Lot of miracles and different things that they have heard and all that they were saying, which we countered. And then they understood, these are all reasons which are just, they can be just destroyed like easily. Then slowly we explained to them the law of cause and the effect and all those things. And all this based on Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya has written in the Kenopanishad Bhashya, in the story, in the 3rd chapter in Kenopanishad, the Yaksha story comes. There he has given so many reasons why God exists. Those very reasons we explained to the children, and they just understood so brilliantly. So debate and then reasoning, 10-year-old children, 11-year-old children, they wrote down. Fabulous it was. They all wrote down all those things. And they said, now we will go back and we will tell all our friends why God exists. Now we know very clearly. So this is the strength. The parents, when they have Shraddha, they give it to the child. And with logic, when you back it up, then that is actually Shraddha. Belief reinforced with conviction. This mother, she has that. Now she transfers it to the child, saying, the Lord will take care of you. Don't worry. Go into the forest and pray to the Lord. So when she goes there, she says, he starts walking there. What is most important? So one is, she says, Bhagwan is there with you always. Second, she says, your bhavana is most important. Bhagwan sees the bhav of the devotee. So what is your bhavana? You may want anything from Bhagwan. There's nothing wrong in asking Bhagwan. You want to be on the throne, you want to be in the lap of the Father, no problem. Ask Bhagwan. But ask with full devotion, have faith in the Lord, and then pray to Bhagwan. And also pray that I am not, I may not be deserving enough, but please bless me with this. Meaning be humble and pray. And don't blame anybody. That we saw last time also in Bhagavad itself it comes. Say don't blame anybody. Take ownership of your life, and the experiences that you face are because of your own past karma. There must be some karmic reason behind this. So whatever karmic reason is there behind this, you are facing this situation right now. But you can turn it to the Lord. So pray to the Lord intensely with single pointed mind, and Bhagwan will bless you with what you seek. The Lord of the universe is your father. He is a father who will bless the child with what the child seeks and what is good for the child. So seek that. Now, having said that, she sends him to the forest. She has told that, Bhagwan is the one who is sought by all the great rishis, even the Mother Lakshmi. The world runs behind Mother Lakshmi, but she is the one who seeks Narayana. So he is that Supreme Lord. So she establishes that, and that's where I think we had stopped. So when, yeah, that's where we had stopped in uh, shloka number 23. Yes, Maitreya ji says this. Yes, so that's where we have stopped. Now, so Maitreya Rishi continues that when he heard this words of his mother Suniti, Dhruva didn't even argue with the mother. That is the feeling that he has even for the mother. That if my mother is saying something, it is for my good, even if it is difficult, I am going to do it. So with great force of reasoning, evam sanjal pitam matuhu akarnyartha gamam vachaha saniyam yatmanatmanam nischakrama pitu puran. So he controlled his mind, and from his father's capital he set forth. Just imagine going alone into the unknown territory, infested with wild animals, leaving the comforts behind. There is nobody with him. That requires guts to do things alone. Nowadays, people put on Instagram story and all that. Solo trip and the backpacking, and they go traveling alone somewhere and click pictures and they post and they say, oh, what such a wonderful experience, solo trip and this and that. This Dhruva went as a 5-year-old child, he went solo. Nobody is there with him. He could have asked the mother, because he is a prince. He could have asked the mother, at least send one soldier. Somebody, mother could have also sent some soldier. It's not that mother is incapable of sending a soldier. Though she is not treated as well by the father, she's still a queen. She could have sent. This is what is called operating from strength. If she had sent the soldiers, Dhruva's faith would not have been as strong, because Dhruva knows that, okay, there are soldiers to protect. She sent Dhruva saying, Bhagwan is there. Bhagwan will protect you. Go. That is the real strength, because really speaking, who protects us is Bhagwan only. I'm not saying we should not have any other protection or anything else in our life. We may have something, whatever is required necessarily, but we should remember very clearly, my real protector is Bhagwan alone, nobody else. Other things are secondary, they are there, they may help. But Bhagwan is my real protector, and my Shraddha in Bhagwan is my most important security. My faith is the source of my fearlessness. Maximum what is going to happen, this body, mind, intellect will go through some discomfort. The worst can happen is one will die. That's all can happen. If one knows that I am the child of God, there is no problem. Even if death has to come, because death will anyway come one day. So what am I protecting? This will anyway perish. It is anyway perishable. If that is clear to the mind, one says Bhagwan alone. So nothing else he took, went alone. And the mother also didn't send, not one paisa she sent with him, not one soldier, nothing. It may look very heartless, this type of a mother. Today's parents will say this is not practical and all that. Obviously, it's up to each parent to decide what is practical, not practical and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, look at this mother and what kind of strength she has and what kind of acceptance that Dhruva also has. And he goes into the unknown, absolutely alone, only with his Shraddha that Bhagwan is with me. And what is the purpose? In the beginning, the purpose is to be in the lap of that Lord who loves me unconditionally. This father, his worldly father, did not he is not loving enough for me, cannot stand up for me, he has let me down, but that divine father will never let me down. With that attitude, he is gone inside into the forest. Leaving the capital, he goes. Whenever a devotee does like this, the Lord will take care, there is no doubt. Even now, Bhagavan only is taking care of us. We think that I am being taken care of by some family, by some people, and my own karma and all that. But behind all that is Bhagavan alone. So he went, and when he went, it is not that in his mind there is no fear. There is fear. Fearlessness is not the absence of fear. Fearlessness is the ability to cope with fear and do what needs to be done in spite of fear. It is to face the fear and overcome it. It is not to run away from fear. Whatever we fear, we should face it head on and then overcome that fear. It may be anything: fear of heights, fear of water, fear of public speaking, fear of loss, fear of rejection, fear of failure. So many fears are there. What are our fears? One has to identify those fears and face these fears. Because the fear psychology is like that. The more we run from the fear becomes bigger. Our faith must be bigger than our fear. Not our fear is so big that faith is so less, and then we run away from the fear. Then the fear keeps on growing. One has to face it, overcome it. It will happen by knowledge, it will happen by practice. Slowly, one will be out of that fear. And one fear, if one overcomes, how much mind is liberated, how much energy is released, how much lighter one feels. If I escape my fear, if I don't face my fear, the regret will last for a lifetime. But if I attempt and face the fear, I will overcome fear once and for all. So I have to choose, do I want to live in regret in the whole lifetime, or do I want to live fearlessly whole lifetime? That is up to me. If I allow the fears to be in my mind, then they will remain. And we can keep justifying. So many things we can justify our fear, saying this is natural, everybody has it, or this is not necessary to overcome. Without this also I can realize the self. All kinds of justification mind will give. And whenever one faces that situation, one wants to escape from it, and one can give some sophisticated reasoning for it also. A seeker faces the fear. So in Dhruva's mind, there is fear, there is no doubt, but he knows Bhagavan is with me, and he keeps invoking that. Our Shraddha keeps becoming stronger day by day as we keep invoking more and more Shraddha, and more we have the understanding of who Bhagavan is, what is devotion, all that. So it's not that we have to have it in absolute measure right in the beginning. Until then, we don't have Shraddha. It is not like that. We grow in Shraddha, we grow in Bhakti, we grow in knowledge also, step by step. So there will be fear, but today's fear, what I have, tomorrow it will be lesser than that if I am facing the fear and invoking Shraddha and doing what needs to be done in spite of fear. Then slowly one overcomes. Then Shraddha becomes strong. So now Dhruva, he feels all this as he is going. And he has controlled the mind by the force of reason. And he moves. Now Bhagavan inspires Naradji. So Bhagavan works through different means. It's not necessary that every time only Bhagavan will manifest. He inspires Naradji. So Naradaha tadupakarnya gnatva tasya chikirshitam sprishtva murdhanya ghagnena panina praha vismitaha. So when Naradji heard of this, and he's learned what the child intends to do, he reached that place and he took Dhruva in his lap, and slowly his hands he moved on his head. A great saint like Naradji, a devotee like Naradji, when his hand goes on the head like this, So many agitations of the mind just disappear. That's the power of that sadhana and bhakti of that uh, great devotee, great seeker, saint, who invokes that presence of the divine in the child or whoever that person is on their head when the hand goes. That's why one seeks the blessings of Mahatmas, and the hand of the Mahatma, if falls on the head, one feels. One will feel it also. So it is a fact. So Naradji took him and he touched his head, Panina Praha Vismitaha, with his purifying hand. He said, now this is saying to himself. What does he say? Aho teja kshatriyanam mana bhangamam rishatam balopyayam hridadhatte yat samatura sadvachaha. He says, oh, what is this spirit of kshatriyas, who cannot brook insult. He is a child of the king Uttanapad. So though he is a child, he has taken to heart the stinging words of his mother. That's why he is left. Now, this is the test of the devotee. You see now, how Naradji tests him. Many times on the spiritual path, when we start to walk, and even if we want to commit full time, there are different tests which may come. It's up to us with how much determination we are willing to walk the spiritual path. With that attitude, we will face that test. Some people, they don't have that much strong determination. This test of Naradji also proves the firm determination and resolution of Dhruva. The very word Dhruva means that one who is very resolute, who is not, dilly-dallying, fickle. Okay, if you are saying so, then I will go back home. He is very firm. So you see what Naradji tells, and then you see the reply of Dhruva. So Naradji says that Narada Uvacha Nadhunapyavamanam te sammanam vapi putraka lakshyamak kumarasya saktasya kridanadishu. He says that you are such a small child, 5-year-old child. This is the age for you to play. Where are you stuck in this insult and praise and all that? Honor and dishonor, and don't bother about all this. You play. You should enjoy life. Don't get caught in all these things. And even if you have developed that, vikalpe vidyamanepi nahya santosha hetavaha pumso mohamrite bhinna yalloke nija karmabhihi. So he says that even if you have that sense of honor, dishonor, there are no diverse causes of discontent for a man other than ignorance. Why? Because whatever one gets is based on past karma. So why are you taking it so much to heart? Just know that it is some past karma. Now see, the reasoning is same, na? One of the reasonings is the same. His mother also gave the same reasoning, that it is your past karma. But there she gave the reasoning to empower him, saying that don't blame Suruchi, take charge of your life, that some karma I must have done, so I'm facing the result. So don't shift the blame on her. There is an empowering attitude. Here Naradji is telling him, some past karma, it has come to you, don't take it to your heart, go back home and start playing. So the philosophy is the same. My own past is the cause for my present today. But with what attitude we use that philosophy is most important. I can use this in an empowering way, or I can use this to just take it very lightly, take it easy, and not evolve further. The issue is not of the philosophy. The issue is the attitude with which I apply that philosophy. So many people say, anyway, what is destined has to happen. Why should we put any efforts? Because finally it is all karma only. Everything determined by past karma. That is the same logic we have to use to say that if everything is determined by my own past karma in this life, my next life is determined by today's karma. So better act nicely now. But human being is very convenient. When human being likes a certain philosophy to justify one's action, one will take that attitude. And some other time, some other attitude based on what the goal one wants to achieve. The same philosophy one will use in different ways. So one has to be alert. Here, Naradji says this. And he says, so because it's all past karma, whatever comes your way, you should just accept it. Why are you worried? Okay, somebody insulted you. It's all right. Some past karma. Theek hai. He says, Paritushyeet tatastata tavan matrena purushaha daivopasaditam yavad iksheshvara gatim buddha. That all this is by will of the Lord. One should be contented with whatever comes by fate. He is going to do Purushartha. And Narad is telling him about fate. It's your past karma, something by will of God it has come, now accept it. This is the defeatist type of application, which is what many people do. Now, one should not quote this passage and say, this is what Naradji said, so we will follow this. Array, this is in a context. This is to bring out the firm resolution of Dhruva, that Dhruva has countered all this and says, nothing doing, I am still seeking Bhagavan. Now, if you lift this out of context and say, see, this is what Hindu philosophy is saying, it is all fatalistic, that we should just rest contented with whatever comes our way. There is no need to do Purusharth, there is no need to have goals, ambitions, because your past is determining your present. Everything is predetermined. So what is the use of doing anything? That is the misuse of the philosophy. Naradji is telling this to him to bring out, to test also, and this will bring out Dhruva's determination. Then he also says that what you are seeking is very difficult to achieve. Atha matropadishtena yogena varu rutsasi yat prasadam savai pumsam duraradhyo mato mama. What you are seeking to propitiate Bhagwan is most difficult to propitiate. Even big yogis and others, for lifetimes they do tapasya, they still cannot get they still cannot have darshan of Bhagwan. And even with abstract meditation and self-discipline and devotion and detached attitude they have, still many lives they take, still Bhagwan doesn't manifest in front of them. So you may continue to strive, but it will take many lifetimes. So why are you wanting this? So just be happy with whatever Bhagwan has sent to you based on your past karma, and you go back. Go back to the palace and stay there. Now, one shloka he says here, very nice, which is the last shloka, last meaning 34th shloka in his Narada Vacha. Gunadhikan mudam lipsyed anukrosham gunadhamat maitrim samanad vichhenna tapairabhi vichhenna tapairabhibhuyate. Maitrim samanadan vichet na tapairabhibhuyate. That's the splitting. So, Gunadhikan mudam lipset. That's the first one. Those who are greater than us, when we see them, one feels so much of joy because those qualities we can imbibe. Then Anukrosham Gunadhamat. Those who are inferior to us, in whatever way it may be, inferior in the sense not psychologically anybody lesser or greater, but who have any less money or less power or less knowledge or whatever, love, where they have anything less, then one must be compassionate towards them. And Maitrim Samanad Avichet. Be friendly toward those who are equal. So have respect for the elders, greater ones. Have compassion for those who are lesser or who are suffering or who have something lacking, and be friendly to those who are equal. Why did he say this to him? That considering this behavior, don't take it to heart. Be compassionate. Even if your mother taunted you, she is elder to you. Have respect for her. Don't take it to heart. Go back. Why are you wanting to be in the forest? And seek the Lord who is most difficult to propitiate. And even many lives you may not be able to get. So you have these two choices. One, seek the Lord who is difficult to propitiate and who you may not get in this life at all, and you can be doing everything lifetimes after lifetimes, still not sure whether you will get darshan of Bhagwan. Versus you go back home, stay in the comfort of the palace, don't take what your mother said to heart, enjoy life, and know that it is all past karma. Somehow some results have come, and Bhagwan, by his grace, you have got all these results in your this life. You are born as a prince and you have a family, you have a nice kingdom, you have wealth, etc. And one part of it also is that the mother dishonored you. So what happened in that? Don't take that to heart. Be respectful and then go back. Because if you have come away from the home because you were taunted there, then that is disrespectful. You go back home. Now, Naradji said what he had to say. And very lovingly he is saying, and if we see these arguments, one is they are coming from a person of the stature of Naradji. That itself is a pressure. That if such a great person is telling this, then it ought to be followed. One, authority, the pressure of authority. Two, he's saying it very lovingly, and it is so convincing that one feels there's nothing wrong in doing this. Better it is to go back, because considering the choices, I think the better choice is to go back. But look at Dhruva, 5-year-old child, doesn't come under the power of authority or this convincing logic, etc. That's his determination. What does he say? See, Dhruva uvacha soyam shamo bhagavata sukha dukkha tatmanam darshita kripaya pumsam durdarshosmad vidhaistu yaha. He says that those of us who are disturbed with joy and sorrow, you have shown us the right remedy, and this is not easily found by people like us. Even to get your darshan is not easy, but we have got your darshan and you've given us some remedy. And this remedy definitely will be helpful. But see that. Athapi me vinitasya kshatram ghoramuppeyushaha suruchya durvacho banaihi nabhinne shrayate hridi padam tribhuvanotkrishtam jigisho sadhu vartmame bruhyasmat pitrubhir brahman nanyairapyan adhishtitam. Look at his reply, so firm. He says, in my heart, so yet in the heart of my insubordinate self, I have the spirit of Kshatriya. Kshatram ghoram upeyushaha. So I have the spirit of Kshatriya, and these words of Suruchi have as though pierced my heart. And what you have said has failed to make any impression. He is saying this bluntly to Naradji, that what you have said is correct or not correct. What you have said is rare for people like us to find, But it is not making any impression because my heart is already pierced by these words of Suruchi. And he says, you please tell me what is the path to attain the highest place in all the three worlds, which has not been attained by any of our forefathers or by anyone else. This is called channelizing, that mother has channelized. The goal, the mother has said, is your father, is your eternal divine father who always loves you and he will give you the highest in the world. You seek him. The path, Naraji is showing. Naraji is now the guru. If a student is an adhikari, the guru will come. There's no question about that. Dhruva didn't go in search of a guru. The guru came into his life. Dhruva had the resolution, I want to seek the Lord. With whatever desire, he wants Bhagavan, to ask from Bhagavan or anything material also, but he wants Bhagavan's darshan. Naraji comes with that firm determination, and that guru tested him also. And this is the reply that Dhruva gave. He says, you show me the path. This returning home and difficulties in forest and Bhagavan is difficult to propitiate, all that has not made impression on my heart, because those words of Suruchi have pierced my heart and I want to attain the highest. So he doesn't have dvesh for Suruchi, but that is the incident which has made him come into the forest. So he is also not a seeker who is, who has as though forgotten everything and just let go of everything. He has not developed the dvesh, but the memory is there. And his intensity of seeking is much stronger than the dvesh for her, or not dvesh, I should say, than the hurt that he has gone through because of her. So he wants that highest. And he says, no forefather of mine or anybody else has achieved in this world. I am seeking that. You show me the path to that. 5-year-old child is saying this. And he also recognizes that you are the great Naradji, who is the son of Brahmaji himself. Nunam Bhagavan Bhagavato Yongaja Parameshtinaha Vitudan Natate Veenam Hitartham Jagato Arkavat. You are like the sun, illumining the whole world. You have your Ektara, the Tanpura, by which you sing the glory of the Lord. You are the son of Brahmaji, and you definitely know the path to attain the highest. My fortune that you have come and you are here in front of me. Please give me the path, show me that path. So he is firm in his resolution. He wants to attain the highest, and he knows that Naraji is the means towards it also. Naraji is the means, meaning Naraji is somebody who can guide him. He is not arrogant that I will do everything on my own. No, he says, I need to know the path, and you have come in front of me here. You please guide me. And my heart is set on this goal. You have to tell me the means. So Maitreya Rishi says that Naraji was very happy to hear all this. And with a lot of compassion, he replies to the child the following words. Narada uvacha jananyabhita panthaha savai nishreyasya te Bhagavan vasudevastam bhajatat ravanatmana. He says the path that your mother Suniti has pointed out, that path is the best. Savai nishreyasya te. So Naraji confirms the advice given by his mother, that is the best path, that you seek Bhagavan. So even the pursuit of Artha, please remember, we are in that Artha Purushartha. We have done Dharma Purushartha. That Dharma is done to propitiate Bhagavan. Same way, even if I seek Artha, I should seek Artha from the Supreme Lord directly first. Then I may do my duties in the world and attain whatever prosperity. But all the time I should remember, it is Bhagavan's grace only that I get all this. And I should seek that from Bhagavan first. So he says, what your mother has said, that is the best. You follow that path, and the means to that is the Lord himself. Bhagavan Vasudevas tam bhaja. You worship him. How you should worship him? Pravanatmana. With a single pointed focus, you seek him alone. Don't seek anything else. Once you propitiate the Lord, then you ask what you want to. But seek the Lord with full single pointed devotion. Dharma artha kama mokshakhyam yah icchet shreya atmanah ekameva hares tatra karanam pada sevanam. See that. One may desire any of these: dharma, artha, kama, moksha, 4 purusharthas. The source of all this is Bhagavan himself. And worship of the lotus feet of the Lord is the means to get all these 4. So you worship that Lord. Tatat tata gacha bhadram te yamuna ya tatam shuchi punyam madhuvanam yatra sanidhyam nityada harehe. So he sends Dhruva to Madhuvan on the banks of Yamuna ji. Why he sends him to Madhuvan? Because that is a place where Yamuna ji, Bhagavan has been there to that place, and then Yamuna ji is there. Yamuna ji will, as though, recommend the case to Bhagavan, saying, here is a deserving child, please give him darshan, bless him. And also they say that there are some places where Bhagavan stays in his form, where Bhagavan stays eternally. So here, some places are mentioned, not that these are the only places. Dongre Maharaj has mentioned some places. He says that in Madhuvan, Bhagavan remains. भागवत में कुछ ऐसे स्थानों का निर्देश है जहां परमात्मा अखंड रूप से विराजते हैं. मधुवन में, श्रीरंग आदि में, देन द्वारिका, देन डाकोर, देन गंडक नदी on the banks of that Pulak Rishi ashram. In the 5th skanda of Bhagavad it is said. Then Vrindavan. Like that he has given some, and of course there may be more also. So he says Bhagavan is there in eternally in these places. So he says that you go to this place and pray to the Supreme Lord Hari on the banks of Yamuna ji in the Madhuvan. One very nice thing Dongre Maharaj has said is, see, the mother also sent him to the forest to worship the Lord. In that sense, the mother also has become the guru. Now, Naradji is a specific Shrotriya Brahmanishta guru. And he sends her specifically to Madhuvan, to Yamuna ji's banks, and to worship the Lord Hari. And he initiates him into the Sagun Sakar Bhakti of Bhagavan. So the Rupa of Bhagavan and the Naam of Bhagavan, both he gives to Dhruva. We will see that, it will come. So a disciple who is Adhikari will get the right guidance of the Guru. So the mother is one who gives birth to the child, no doubt. And the mother is one who has raised the child with her own milk. But the Guru is the one who gives that knowledge to the seeker, to the disciple, which makes the disciple free from the cycle of birth and death, that the child, the devotee does not have to further come into the womb of the mother and drink the milk of the mother. Both of them have a different role to play in one's life. And that's why the Guru is also considered as mother and father only. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva. Because the Guru gives the spiritual birth to the child, gaining which the child does not have to anymore come back into the material world at all and will realize absolute oneness. So this freedom from the womb of the mother, freedom from the cycle of birth and death, all that happens by the grace of the Guru. And the devotee or a disciple who is ready will get that Guru. No, there is no question about that. All these stories prove that one doesn't have to hunt for the Guru and go Guru shopping and all that. One develops the adhikara, the Guru will be there in one's life. So many devotees' lives, they prove that. And the right guidance they will get. Otherwise, one doesn't know. I mean, spiritual path is very, very vast and diverse. The scriptures are so many. Which one will one read? What will one follow? How will one reach the goal? Is very difficult. It is the Guru who will give that specific guidance, especially if Guru like Naradji, who is Shrotriya Brahmanishta, who knows exactly what the student needs. Give. So he got that specific guidance. That go to Madhuban, go to Yamunaji's banks, and there you worship Lord Hari. And see the instructions he gives. Snatvanu savanam tasmin kalindya salile shive kritvo chitani nivasan natmana kalpitasanaha pranayamena trivrita pranendriya manomalam shanair Vyudasyabhidhyayet manasa guruna gurum. Very specific instructions. 3 times you have to take bath. Morning, afternoon, evening in Kalindi, that is Yamunaji. And after finishing one's proper duties, one should spread the kusha mat. Duties meaning getting ready, taking bath, all this one has finished. And then you worship the Lord, sit on the kusha grass and in a steady posture which is not very uncomfortable, and slowly learn to withdraw the attention of the senses, of the pranas, of the mind by doing the threefold pranayam. What is threefold pranayam? So that Purak, Rechak, Kumbhak. That you take the breath in, then hold, again you leave the breath out and hold. So Purak, Antak Kumbhak, Rechak, Bahish Kumbhak. That's so Kumbhak is 3, third step. Third step meaning Purak, Rechak, Kumbhak. These are 3 steps. Then further if one goes, there is still the 3 bandhas also which is there. Uddiyana bandha, Jalandhara bandha, Mula bandha, 3. One can mean any of these. So 3 pranayams. Pranayamena trivrita, 3 types of pranayam. Yeah, threefold pranayam, not just 3 in quantity. Then one should contemplate, having done this, with the mind steady on the Lord. So these specific instructions he gives. And how should one contemplate on Hari? So the form of the Lord is described next. That we will take up in our next class. So the whole step-by-step process of Saguna Sakar Bhakti, you see in this story of Dhruva, how Bhagavan sent Naradji and Dhruva is initiated into this Bhakti, Saguna Sakar Bhakti. For today we will stop here. Any questions? Okay.
मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की मंगल प्रीति रीति धूम की मंगल कांति हसनी दसलन की मंगल मुरली दीना धुन की मंगल आरती मंगल बणिक त्रिभंगी हरि की मंगल सेवा सब सहचर की, मंगल सिर चंद्रिका मुकुट की, मंगल छवि नयन में अटकी, मंगल आरती। पभी अंग अंग की, मंगल गौर श्याम रंग की, मंगल अति कटि पियरे पट की, मंगल चितमणि नागर नट की, मंगल आरती। मंगल शोभा कमल नयन की, मंगल माधुरी मृदुल पैन की, मंगल वृंदावन मद अटकी, मंगल क्रीडन जमुना तट की, मंगल आरती। मंगल चरण अरुण तरुवन की, मंगल करणी भगति हरिजन की, मंगल जुगल प्रिया बावन की, मंगल श्री राधा जीवन की, मंगल आरती प्रिया प्रीतम की, मंगल प्रीति रीति डोल की, मंगल आरती, मंगल आरती। राधावर कृष्णचंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम, नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतो यमग्निः, तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं, तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की।
ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते, पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम। Okay, Jyotsna ji, you have a question? Okay. When there's these two difficult situations in life, I always thought that you accept them as a result of past karma. How should one? After today's class, I am confused. Yeah, so there is no doubt one aspect is my past karma, it is, which is what Suniti tells Dhruva, that it is some past karma, it has come, so that we don't have this question that why this happened to me, it should not have happened to me. We are not in a resisting mode. But that does not mean that we become complacent and say that it is all past karma, what is the use of me doing anything. What Gurudev said to us is what the Shastra is also saying to us, that what we meet in life is our fate, how we meet it is our free will. So if I accept something as fate, as my past karma, then why this happened to me, that will not be there. It's some past karma, it is there. Immediate past or distant past, whatever it is. How to face right now, that is my choice, which is what the episode of Dhruva also shows. He didn't allow that incident to make him have the sense of victimhood or being abandoned, deserted, none of that. The free will is that I choose to respond in a sattvic way. So both this is a combination. That's what we have to do. Accept what has come to us and meet it with the sattvic attitude of a devotee or a seeker. All right. Thank you.